In this, we call it a sacred season, so full of His presence, I often find myself wondering what gift I might offer Him that would truly touch His generous heart and honor the challenging mandate of His teachings. Over the years, that inquiry, that wondering what I might do to do those things, has yielded a rich treasure, you might call it, of insight and comfort and redemption in many cases. Embracing the spiritual discipline of endeavoring to see my world through the penetrating clarity of His wisdom is a grace-filled, eye-opening process. When my practice remains committed and diligent, it never fails to reveal another layer of unfulfilled, cherished opinions, expressing their chagrin, turning my cognitive garden into a rock and a hard place, and my feeling nature into an apprehensive, petulant pity party. Have you ever been there? I'm glad I have some company. In that revelation lies the gift that each of us might consider wrapping in the fierce resolve of a sacred intention and committing to His memory, namely, a deep personal commitment to loving Him a little more dearly by hearing Him a little more clearly and being Him a little more sincerely. It boils down to what you might call an RSVP, a choice to answer His invitation to pick up our crosses and follow Him deep into the mystery of the awakened life. And therein lies the challenge of embracing authentically the path of the Master. He calls us on our stuff. As we say around here, the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. And I trust that enough of you have been here long enough to not create a big to-do over that. Consider John 14:21. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. Straight to the point, no question. And then John 14:24. He that loveth me not, keepeth not my commandments. Clear? Sure. And there we have it. Am I keeping or keeping not? An honest answer to that inquiry may well reveal the next step of freeing our feeling natures from the mischief of spiritually uninformed thinking. The toughest game in town is scraping up enough integrity to answer the questions with sincerity as well as accuracy. I don't know about you, but when it comes to rating the maturity of my spiritual insight and the depth of my indoctrination into the Jesus lineage, it's a lead pipe cinch that I err on the side of exaggeration. Keeping, not keeping, how do I tell? I'm not even close to seeing all of it, but there is a piece of the puzzle of awakening I seem to be hearing a little more clearly and being a little more sincere about. It's the part about bearing not false witness. Let me tell you, folks, that bit of spiritual law cuts so deep into the fabric of our feelings, it's scary to begin acknowledging how routinely I ignore its redemptive invitation and instead bury myself in another bit of cognitive fiction starring me and my enemies. Do you have any of that play going on in your heads? And remember, the enemies include more than just human personages. Any force in life that we set up as being in opposition to us. That too. Bear not false witness is an invitation to clarity and compassion. Ignoring it is one of the top 10 ways to screw up a perfectly delightful earth life and turn it into gut-wrenching episodes of irrational hostility, groundless fear, and intractable demagoguery. It works this way. Bear not false witness is a spiritual reminder to be impeccably clear and accurate in the choice of the thoughts we use to describe the ever-changing scenario of form and circumstance we call our earth life. To ignore the law is kind of like taking a full swing at a golf ball in a very small tiled room. It's going to get you. Now, most of us sally forth day after day to encounter our earth world with a brain mind, a thinker, loaded with a program of beliefs and values and memories, capable of analyzing, interpreting, speculating, remembering, deducing, inducing ad infinitum. Every tiny bit of stimulus brought to the attention of our brain minds through our physical and intuitive receptors is instantly subjected to a process of cognitive identification and evaluation. Every sound we hear, every sight we see, every flavor we taste, every scent we smell, every surface we touch or sense touching us, initiates that cognitive process of identifying and evaluating the nature of the phenomenon we have encountered. As long as this identifying and evaluating activity is carried out with thoughts that accurately capture the true factual nature of the phenomenon being processed, we satisfy the criteria of true witness, and life moves on efficiently and lightheartedly and harmoniously. But if just one of those minuscule little electrochemical patterns of energy we call thoughts labels the event we are experiencing with a definition or an evaluation that is not factually true and accurate, false witness has occurred and retribution's on the way. You can count on it. For example, it's a pre-dawn, midwinter morning. You stick your head out the door to check the weather and encounter freezing rain, gusty winds, and a wind chill below zero. Those are the facts. True witness. So far, so good. You shut the door, proceed to the bedroom to wake up the spouse and the kids. Someone asks, "What's the weather like this morning?" And you reply, "It's a stinking, miserable, nasty day, not fit for man or dog." There you go. False witnessing, clear and simple. Remember, rain is only wet. The nasty is in your mind. That's why Jesus encouraged us in Matthew 5:37 to let your words be yes, yes, and no, no, for anything which adds to these is a deception. Every time we use our minds to create a cruel, demeaning characterization of someone, for example, spread baseless allegations, give voice to spurious interpretations and boneheaded speculations, we mentally label another human being wrong because they haven't accommodated some rigid notion we have for what they should or shouldn't be doing, saying, or believing. We are engaging in the deception of bearing false witness. In the process, we deny ourselves the grace of drinking the sweet nectar of God's cup of peace and loving kindness. Watch the mind. Watch it like you would watch the proverbial rattlesnake. When you catch it defining you, yourself, or another being with a pejorative label, choose not to agree with the deception. Acknowledge the thoughts as false witness and let it go. We are all children of God, going to the school of life, doing our best to wake up. Let that be your all-purpose description for every being you encounter on the path of your life. When you catch yourself thinking that you can't be content unless you have a certain this or a special that, choose not to agree with the deception. Acknowledge false witness and let the thought go. When you catch it fabricating catastrophic scenarios set in the future, choose not to agree with the deception. Let it go. Let it all go. Nothing is wrong more than anything's right. Now capture the essence of that wise counsel. Practice it diligently. Then get real still and listen carefully. And you'll hear the Master's delighted voice saying, "Well done, good and faithful servant. It's the finest Christmas gift you could have given me." Merry Christmas, beautiful ones. Merry Christmas.